Did you know that Isabella d'Este, hailed as the first lady of the Renaissance, was more than just a pretty face? She's the epitome of how beauty and intellect blend seamlessly, breaking conventions and reshaping an entire era. Stop scrolling because I promise, by the end of this video, you'll see Renaissance beauty redefined like you've never imagined before. Let's set the stage. Imagine Europe in the late 15th century, a world rich with art, music, and new ideas blooming like spring flowers. Isabella d'Este was born into this extraordinary time, but she's far from a mere observer in history. She was its maker, its muse, and its trailblazer. Born in 1474 into the powerful Este family of Ferrara, she was destined for greatness. But Isabella ensured she would be remembered on her own extraordinary terms. A woman of wit, learning, and unparalleled charm, she became the Marchesa of Mantua through her marriage to Francesco II Gonzaga. Unlike many women of her time, Isabella wielded her familial and marital connections not as restrictions, but as tools of influence. You see, this wasn't just a time of great men like Leonardo da Vinci or Michelangelo. This was also a time when women like Isabella redefined what it meant to hold power, grace, and beauty. She turned Mantua into nothing short of a cultural epicenter. But first, let's unravel what made Isabella d'Este a symbol of Renaissance beauty. Renaissance ideals of beauty were heavily steeped in symmetry, poise, and grace. Beauty was seen as divine order expressed in the human form, and Isabella embodied this to perfection. She was described by historians as having an oval face, keen, intelligent eyes, a high forehead, ideal according to the standards of the time, and hair that shimmered like burnished gold. Yet, it wasn't just her features that captivated. It was her personality that lit the room. She carried herself with an effortless elegance, her presence commanding respect and admiration in equal measure. However, Isabella wasn't content to merely be admired from afar. She actively shaped her image, commissioning dozens of portraits that would immortalize her beauty and power. And yes, we're talking about some of the most talented painters of her era, including none other than Titian. These portraits were more than just art. They were her declaration. This is who I am. Look and remember. But Isabella d'Este wasn't just about appearances. No, behind those penetrating eyes was a mind that influenced an entire generation. Culture, after all, doesn't flourish by accident. As a devoted patron of the arts, Isabella surrounded herself with the geniuses of her time. She corresponded with Leonardo da Vinci and encouraged him to create and innovate. She endorsed Titian before his brilliance was universally recognized. Her influence wasn't just confined to the visual arts, it extended to music, philosophy, and literature. Oh, and here's a juicy tidbit. She had a treasured cabinet in her palace, a studiolo, which she filled with art, antiques, and rare manuscripts. Not only was this a sanctuary of intellectual wonders, but it also became one of the most famous personal art spaces of the Renaissance. Every collector and artist aspired for their work to find a home there. Through her studiolo, Isabella accomplished something revolutionary. She blurred the lines between collector and creator, becoming a part of the Renaissance's legacy in her own right. But let's not forget the societal hurdles she faced. The Renaissance may have glorified human potential, but it was still a man's world. Women were expected to be passive, compliant, and relegated to domestic pursuits. Isabella refused to play by those rules. She proved that intellect, beauty, and influence weren't just the domains of men. Her strategic marriage was as much a partnership as it was a stepping stone for her vision of a progressive, cultured society. And remember, this was also a time of magnificent fashion, where clothes could speak louder than words. Isabella was a style icon in every sense of the term. She popularized intricate sleeves, high-waisted gowns, and elaborate fabrics adorned with pearls and gold embroidery. Her lavish wardrobe set trends not just in Mantua, but across Europe. If social media influencers had existed in her time, you can bet she'd have millions of followers admiring her elegance. Now, imagine walking through her palace, marble columns leading to grand halls, the scent of fresh herbs in the air, soft lute music playing in the background. Every corner reflects her influence. From the paintings that hang on the walls to the meticulously designed interiors, she turned her environment into a living museum of beauty and culture. And here's something incredible. Isabella's influence didn't fade after her death. Her legacy inspired subsequent generations. Artists, writers, and historians across the centuries kept her memory alive, celebrating her as a beacon of grace and intelligence. Modern-day feminists have even highlighted her as an early example of a Renaissance woman who didn't let societal norms define her. You might wonder, why does Isabella d'Este's story matter today? It's because she reminds us of the timeless interplay between beauty and intellect, and of the power of women to shape the world even against strict societal constraints. In Isabella, we see how elegance, artistry, and strength transcend centuries to inspire us in our present age. So, the next time you admire a breathtaking piece of Renaissance art or hear a hauntingly beautiful melody from that era, know this: women like Isabella d'Este made it all possible. They weren't just muses, they were the architects of culture, firmly imprinting their ideas, their beauty, and their intellect into the fabric of history. Today, take a moment to honor her legacy by seeking beauty in its fullest form, not just in aesthetics, but in ideas, in culture, and in understanding. And remember, my friends, beauty is not just about appearance, it's about presence, intellect, and indelible influence, just like Isabella d'Este's eternal grace, beautiful, awe-inspiring, and utterly timeless. Thank you for exploring history's treasures with us today. Don't forget to like and share this video if Isabella d'Este has ignited your curiosity, and let us know in the comments which iconic woman from history you'd like to see next in our series, Beautiful Women Throughout the Ages. Until then, stay curious and stay inspired.